So today I'm talking about the sirui, which is, I believe, the correct pronunciation, nightwalker t1.2. It's the 24mm. I actually picked this lens up for a steal, in my opinion, off Facebook Marketplace for $150 Australian. All of the footage you're going to see in this review is shot on this lens at either t1.2 or t2 respectively. I've had a fantastic time with this lens. It's been a while since I've been using cinema lenses. I didn't really want to commit to something that was a bit more expensive. This was a great example of a budget-friendly lens that delivers great results. So right now I'm filming on my trusty Fujifilm X-H2S, which has also been the camera of choice in all the footage you're seeing. I think it pairs beautifully with this lens. I think the character that this lens has is sort of aligned with the color science and the classic sort of like Fuji look. So there's a few sort of reviews on this lens around, and I think if you're looking at this lens and you're someone like me who actually looks at reviews and just sort of tries to figure out if it's the right choice for them before buying, you're probably aware of the weaknesses that this lens already has. Chromatic aberration's really present. T1.2 is like incredibly soft. It's I don't want to say it's unusable. I think it's usable. It's fun. But in a corporate sense, if you're looking to get sharpness, that is just, it's not it, man. I had this fantastic opportunity to take this lens to test it out on a shoot with my great friend Chris, who was also testing out the Blackmagic pyxis 12K, which is absolutely insane. So it was fantastic being able to shoot some of the B-roll on that project, and just a couple of clips of him as well at work gave me an excuse to actually test out this lens a little bit more in a actual project. Image quality, I'm not someone who pixel peeps and does all that, so I'm just going to show you footage. Everything looks really sharp when you shoot it at sort of like T2. T2 is probably the sweet spot on this lens for me, without sacrificing too much light stopping down. As mentioned before, there's definitely some chromatic aberration, which I'm not too fussed with, especially when I spend $150 on a lens. I think it's kind of funny when you see reviews talking about how bad the chromatic aberration is and the lens was $200. Like, if you're looking for no chromatic aberration, buy a photography lens. Buy something that's meant to be for that purpose. Are my opinions coming off too strong? I'm meant to just be talking about a lens. I just get so passionate, you know? I think the weight of the lens, I'm not going to look up like stats and stuff because this is super off the cuff, but the weight of the lens is like really nice. It feels well constructed, and it's like got a decent amount of weight to it, as you would expect from a cinema lens. As I said before, I think the design is really cool. I think especially the silver one. Yes, I do think the black one is more practical, but again, I found this on Marketplace for $150. I'm not about to be that picky. This lens is a really nice blend of that organic sort of vintage look with also a nice amount of sharpness. I think it's a bit of a do-it-all lens for the price that you pay. To touch on the negatives, I only really sort of have one, and I think it's pretty common, is that focus ring. I mean, the aperture ring's slightly better, but that focus ring is so light. Like, it's a little too light. I haven't had that much experience with those cinema lenses, just a few, but nothing has been this light. Operating this handheld, it's kind of just like you're expecting a little bit more resistance. I find it a bit annoying that there's a massive gap between T1.2 and T2. They're my two favorite sort of apertures, so let me just show you. That is like a decent amount of turning. And you got like T1.2 and then like T1.4 and T2. It just seems like a big gap. Am I being picky? Probably. It's a $150 lens, but I have to say something, right? I think that's all I really have for the drawbacks. Yeah, it's just that focus ring, man. That's a bugger to use, but maybe as well, it could be something that just takes a bit more time on my end. Maybe I could get used to it, and then maybe the whole set will feel completely fine in the future. But overall, I think this lens is a fantastic option for people wanting to get into some filmmaking. I think it has some character, which is always fun. enables you to think a bit more creatively about what you want your shots to look like. But yeah, if there's anything I missed, I'm sure you will find that information online. This is sort of like a very rough review that's more about my general experience. I'm never really going to be the person who jumps into any sort of like brick wall tests or chromatic aberration tests. I'm more about feel. I'm more about what an image looks like to me. If you're someone like that, I hope this review was useful for you, and maybe I pushed you in the direction of getting the lens, or maybe I pushed you away, and ultimately that's what it's for. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll maybe see you in the next one. I'm pretty sure I was looking at the monitor, the screen, more so than I was looking down the lens. Is that gonna look weird?